Bam.
Hey, what's up?
None much, none much. What's up? What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. As good as it can be on a Thursday. Oh wait,
It's a
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Wednesdays are good. I love Wednesdays.
Wednesdays are horrible for me.
What? Why?
Wednesday is just packed. I just got everything. Errands and
I
chores
thought
and
you said you were done at 7.
no, I don't even work on Wednesdays. I'm taking it off so that I can do this. But it's also my day
So,
off where I have to do everything else that I don't do when I work.
so would you say it's like hectic?
It's
Like
home hectic. It's not.
yeah, but is it due to like? I guess this is gonna sound too rough and blunt, but is it due to like poor planning?
No. I over plan,
Yeah,
over
yeah, yeah,
schedule. That's what it is.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
what's up, Alex?
Yo, what's the dealio? What's the dealio? How you doing, bud?
Nah,
Appreciate you for
yeah. I
showing
just
up here.
I pack it too tight, and then it doesn't.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't do
I
that.
don't want to do that, but I don't know how else to do
Why?
it.
Why do you do that?
Uh, I don't because it's my day off.
So you don't think that doing 2 things is enough? You need to do 10.
Yeah, or 3 or 4. Yes, we're late. By the way, if you guys are tuning in, yes, we're late. It's my fault. I wish there was a way to kind of like let people know. That's what we gotta do. Like
Like
have
let people
a
know at 8:15 that we're gonna be late.
no. Let people like if we're not on time, have something playing already. You know what I mean?
Oh no, because then that makes the video super long.
No, because then we'll just keep it shorter. I guess.
I don't know.
I'm just saying have like a
Oh,
preset like 30-minute video of something. I don't know,
I don't know. I feel like that's
but
gonna
then
be
it's not interactive enough.
but not even that. I feel like that would be like, okay, we have this, so we can be late. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but also, what do we do in that time that we are late?
We just SOL. You know, we failed the audience.
Damn, Alex would be on time.
Hey, hey, yo no digo nada. I'm not saying shit. You know, um, whatever. It is what
No,
it is.
I
You know,
couldn't.
we're here
So
now.
you know what it is? I'm those people that want to be on the minute because I don't like wasting time. So I'm not the type that's gonna go to work early. Never. Like to me, that's wasted time. So like if you ever
Going
had to
to
be,
work early.
yeah, like I
Okay.
never. I want to be there on the dot. I don't want to be there any like people that go in 30 minutes early, an hour early, and they just kind of hang out there
Well, I think that's different for
for
different
my
jobs.
what kind of work that we do. Yeah. So like
Yeah, because like for
for
example, I
people
can
that
go
have
in
to
30 minutes early and I'll just leave 30 minutes early. It
right, yeah,
doesn't.
no, I mean for people that are scheduled to be there at a certain time,
Yeah.
right?
So
If
you want
you're,
to be on the
I
dot.
want to be on the dot, right? So that leaves no room for error, no room for anything else, and that's where the problems come in.
So you need to change that.
Yeah,
So I had a old saying, I'm sure, but I had a professor that used to always say, 5 minutes is on time. Like if you show up 5 minutes early is on time. On time is late. And then he would say, if you're showing up after class starts, don't even show up. He would lock the door.
yeah. I thought it was more than. I thought it was like 15 minutes. It's on time.
Well, I mean, he just wanted you to be there. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure there's a actual saying, but he would be like, you show up 5 minutes before class, you're still on time. If you show up on time, you're already late. But the thing with college is that you got 100 people coming in at the same time, right? So
And you know what? You know what's funny is it's only on my like day to day things that I do that. Because if I have like special things and I'm solely responsible for my own time, meaning I don't have to drag my kids and wife, right? I hate to throw it out there, but if it's just me and I have a special event or a meeting or something like that, I never fail. I'm always on time, no matter what.
Where'd you have to drag your kids and wife for this?
No, no, no. I'm just no. Listen to what I'm saying. If it's special and it's me alone and nobody else, I do really good. If it's a day to day, like a daily thing, like a weekly thing, and just me, that's where I kind of stumble because I want to do too much. So
Yes, I agree with that. I
I
can
could have
agree with
done
that.
with one less thing today. Let's put it that way. I could have just.
I
I really need to say, okay, by 6, I'm just gonna relax. Like whatever got done, and that's it.
Yeah, I
That's the
agree. I
approach I need to
agree.
take.
So check your microphone to see if you're using yours. But on that note, um,
What do you mean? You can't hear me?
it just yeah, but I can hear the echo. Like I can hear it sounds like a wide room. Whatever. Did you
Let me
check your settings
yeah, I'm gonna check it.
on your microphone?
Default microphone. Oh, okay, yeah, I see that. That's what it is. Pa. Can you hear me now? Is that better?
Oh, way better.
It was just in like.
Way, I hear you in my brain now. No, but
No,
yeah, I agree. You have to have a set time where what has been
it's
done
done.
today is done. Um because I still have a fault with with things that I have to do at home that are mine. I tend to fail myself a lot more than I fail others. Right. So for example, our podcast, I'm ready at 8 any day, every day. I'm ready at 7:45. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Because at 7, I already told you I'm not either we've
no
gone
matter
done the
what. Yeah,
groceries. Yeah, we've either already done our groceries or whatever, or we're not going. We'll go tomorrow. So if it's really that important, like today, we have to go get some groceries because the sale ends today, and we're getting some things for the camping trip. So I was like, we either go right now and you take your nap later, or we fucking just pay full price. So we
yeah,
went at 6, got there what we got. We were back at home by 7, and then I was like, okay, we're done. You know what I mean? And then we started watching the Astros game. There was just nothing else. Like she knows that she's not gonna ask me for anything because I'm not gonna do anything until after our podcast.
yeah,
And I'm
but
more like that with others, like with you and with my boss and with work. And
yeah,
when
because
it's like,
you feel the commitment of,
yes,
and
when
then
it's
you
like,
let
okay,
the
I need to
stuff
cut the
that you need
grass
to
or I need,
do,
mm-hmm.
you put it up
Yeah,
or you
or
put
like
it
yeah, no,
away.
I'm okay with like I'm pushing it back, right? Like if I need to cut the
Yeah,
grass
yeah,
or I need to fix the room or whatever, I'll be like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. No big deal. But if I was to tell you, like I'm gonna fix this room so you can come sleep over tomorrow, boy, I would fucking
you're doing it right now.
pimp it out. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. I feel like I'm a
No, I
little
when
too
you say
much
you
to
feel,
to
I feel the same way. Like I fail myself in a way that I don't plan. Like I want to make it too tight and it doesn't come out right. It doesn't work, and that's
yeah,
how I fail myself. So in a different way, because I just want to get the shit done now,
yeah,
and you know why I want to get the shit done now? And let me tell you. Let me tell you a story. Because I'm a big procrastinator. I
yeah,
like with at school, and I remember like just having that, always having that problem with just leaving everything at the last minute, right?
yep,
So throughout my life, I've pushed myself to just getting shit done now, because that's opposite of what my, I guess, natural instinct would be.
yeah,
And so I'm like pulling both ways, you know. It's just something that
yeah,
I had to kind of like pound into myself, like just doing this shit, getting it done
yeah.
now.
No, I agree. I'm the same thing. I'm a big procrastinator.
And
I think we've talked about
I
this.
envy so much when people are like they just get it right, you know?
Like they just get it done, like no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've and there's nothing negative about this, but I have noticed that a lot of the times when people get it done like that, it's either they've had help, right? Or
Yeah.
it's not a big task, right? It's not the biggest task
Well,
Like
no,
for
but
example, I'll give you a great example. When I built the shelves in my garage, right?
yeah,
Like it took me a little longer than I expected because I did it all by myself. I had to carry I had to carry the structure. I had to angle it. I had to do kind of, a lot of things that if I had a second, third, fourth, even fourth person, it would have been just boom, boom, boom,
yes,
right?
yeah,
But at the same time, right, and you'll say, well, Diana, right? But at the same time, I'm not going to ask Diana to help me in that situation either because it wasn't her idea. She was okay with what we already had going. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
I just thought of an idea and I was like, hey, I want to do this. And she was like, well, I'm not going to help you because shit, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? So had I like say reached out to somebody, anybody, and be like, hey, I need you to help me, I'm sure we would have knocked it out that day. But it took me 3 days, right? It took
Yeah.
me the whole week, the whole weekend, sorry, and then obviously I didn't work on it the week, and then on the weekend again, boom, done. Um, but I got it done. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of the times people we see what other people have accomplished, and we don't. We one think like, oh damn, that's a big task, but it maybe wasn't as big as we thought it was, or they
But
got help and we just didn't
I'm
see it.
thinking when we have the same tasks, right? Like if you have the same exact task and you see other people just kind of jumping on it, right?
Like
Because
what?
like anything, like homework, like going back to the school thing, right? Like homework.
Yeah,
I was the type of like, okay, I'm gonna do it, Sunday night, right before I come back on Monday morning.
yeah.
Uh, where I'd see people as soon as it was assigned, they would start working on it on a
Oh
Friday
yeah, no.
afternoon. You know what I mean? And
Mm-mm.
dude, like I said, I was just against my everything, and I had to really kind of like
I
just
you know, I feel like I so when it comes to I like doing things in groups, at least in a pair. I like doing
yes,
things with others.
yes, yeah, yeah.
Um, I like doing things, right? Like projects. I love doing things like that. But I like doing things with others. Um, so I mean, like homework, I guess, is an example that we're using. But what I'm thinking more, and see if you follow my train of thought here. I like to do what I think are fun projects,
So
right?
social things.
So, well, like
Well, I mean, something where you can
sure,
have a social setting.
sure, because like if we go back to the homework example, I didn't do it because I'd rather go party, right? Or I'd rather go hang out with friends, or I'd rather go hang out with my girlfriend, or I'd rather
Yeah,
go, do whatever. And so that's one, right? But now that we're, adults or whatever, we got bigger projects, different ideas. I have a project in mind, three projects in mind that I want to do that I'm obviously one not going to ask Diana for help because she probably one doesn't know how to do it and two probably doesn't even want to do it, right? So it's like my front porch and then the back patio and then I want to do like a like a thing around the fireplace, right? These are probably going to be bigger projects, but they're fun, right? Because you're putting shit together, you're probably drinking a couple brews, you know what I mean? Like, but if I do it by myself, it's definitely going to take me like
the rest
at
of the
least
year.
sure. I mean,
No,
for
I get
sure.
it. I make my daughters just make me company sometimes, but I gotta do that kind of thing. I'll say, "Hey, can you help me?" They
Yes.
don't actually even do anything, but just having
Yeah.
them there, it helps me like organize my thoughts. I don't know what it is, right? It's just having again, it's just having that. Just when you're by yourself, you start thinking about. I think this is me. When I'm by myself, I start thinking about other things.
I think it goes back to
I
like
get
our
sidetracked.
fucking Neanderthal or whatever mindset of humanity being a social animal.
Yeah,
Like we feel more comfortable when there's others around.
yeah, for sure.
Um, I'm sure
I
it
mean
helps our
that's the
confidence. It helps everything.
yeah, that's the reason you when you're by yourself, people say they'll turn on the TV, right? Because they just want to hear some noise. But really, it's just you
Yeah,
want to hear somebody else. I think
yeah,
like just somebody talking.
yeah. Because I mean, yeah. I guess it's funny because I'm thinking right now, like I do like being alone sometimes, though. But
I lo-
I like being alone when I'm relaxing,
yes, not
right? So if
alone
I
when you have
go
to
out,
do something.
yes. So like if I'm out in the hammock, and then don't get me wrong, right? I love hanging out with others, even just to chill. But there's times where I've gone outside and just hung out. You know what I mean? And just
It's funny you say that because I I'm rarely ever alone, right? It's either work,
Yeah.
you know, home, whatever. But my time alone has been like sometimes I'll just okay, like finally I get to work or I get home right after work and I just sit there in the car for a little bit, just kind of like just have that alone time.
Yeah.
Where I just don't have anything to do, right? Because I know as soon as I go home or as soon as I walk in, there's something going on, right? Like
Yeah.
there's a project I got to do or something I got to clean, or I start yelling at somebody, and it's not that alone time that I need.
Sure. Sure. But I mean, yeah, going back to what we said, to what I said, is it's not that I want to be alone because I really don't. I hate being alone. Um,
Ah,
but
man,
that like
you ever met
five
that?
10 minutes
Yeah,
is nice.
decompress. You ever met that person that goes out alone and they'll have dinner by themselves in a restaurant, or
Okay, so check this out.
they'll go watch a movie by themselves, bro? That
Okay, so
blows my mind.
okay, well, time out. Check this out. Um, I read somewhere one day, like most people can't be alone because that's another thing. Some people can't, bro. Like they it's whatever. Some people can't be alone, and I thought to myself like I can fucking be alone. No big deal. I it's no big deal. And I had to prove it, but there's really never been a way for me to prove it. Just because I'm always with Diana, or I'm with like you said,
Yeah,
work
you
or
never
just
do it. Yeah,
family
yeah.
or whatever. So one day Diana goes out with her friends, and and obviously I was gonna be home. I was gonna go home, and that would have been alone. But alone at home is different than alone in
It's
public.
not. Yeah, it's
That's
not
what
out. Yeah.
that's what this article was about: being alone in public. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna be alone. I'm gonna see what this is like. And I went to a hookah bar. So I was smoking, sitting alone. The amount of stares that I got.
I had never.
You've never?
I had never been anywhere by myself.
Wow. Yeah. So I was
Just
out there and
alone.
alone, bro. I pull in, I'm like, hey, just table for one. And they were like, one. I'm like, yeah, table for one.
People
And
staring at you like
so
I got stood up.
yeah, so I will probably one day, someday in the future, go to this hookah bar and I'll tell you about the story again. But I think I go outside and I'm like on the edge, like on this, the side. So all of this is tables, right? And then all of this is tables. So I'm like seeing everybody in a triangle view here. I'm just sitting there,
They're
and
thinking like,
they're
wow,
like,
this perv.
yeah, and so they're like, is anybody coming? And I'm like, no, it's just me. And you could tell that they were like, okay, whatever. And so then I'm like, yeah, give me I think I had a water, and I had I think it was a Turkish coffee. It was
Ooh.
coffee of some sort. I think Turkish it wasn't. I think Turkish coffee. I had a Cafe Mawal, which is very good, very bold, but whatever. So I asked for a coffee, and then I get my hookah menu, and I'm just sitting there, and I order my hookah. My hookah comes, my coffee comes, and smoking and drinking, and I can feel people like looking and like what the fuck, like it's weird.
Yeah,
And
definitely not the
I
norm. It's not
but you
socially.
know what, dude? I will tell you, it did not feel weird.
Really.
Yeah, it felt what felt weird was everybody looking at me, right? Like
Yeah.
occasionally, but it felt good.
So I always had this thought: is it normal, or or am I not the? You know what I mean? Like, is it normal to do it or be able to do it? Like, are you mentally a healthy person? Are you able to do it, or are you there's something wrong with you that you can do it?
I don't
I
know.
don't have the answer to that, but I always thought about this
Um,
because so we used to have this homeboy. We used to always run into him at the movie theater. He'll just go by himself, just watch a movie by himself. Um, or just you see people out there they just go to a restaurant, just have dinner by
yeah,
themselves.
yeah, no big
And
deal.
I don't think, like I said, I don't think in my I can't remember one time that I just went out by myself, had dinner, or I mean, I'll go through the drive-through. You know what I mean? And take it,
Yeah, but
or eat in the car, take it back home. That's not really by yourself, though. Like you said,
yeah,
like actually sit there by yourself. I would
yeah,
feel self-conscious, like you said, like people that might be judging you because you're by yourself. I don't know. When I see somebody else doing it, I also think, oh, loser, right?
yeah. And so, based on this article, you said it right. Based on this article, that I, if I, what I vaguely remember was people that can do it are more at peace with themselves
Yeah.
than people that can't.
Now that
And I was
now that
like, that's very true because
now that
I'm
I'm
fucking comfortable. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Now that I'm older, I can kind of see where before I would have just said it would, just they just don't have nobody to go with. Uh, but now that I'm older, I kind of get it. I think, like you said, you're at peace with yourself. You're comfortable enough to just do it. Um, I love to try it, to be honest, because like I said, I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
But just
No,
going out, hanging out like
it was
that, it'd
pretty
be
cool.
weird.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool experience. And I mean, I also tried something that
Now
I
I'm gonna
knew I
say
was gonna
this:
be doing
it's
something.
never gonna beat doing it with somebody else. I don't
It
think
will never
it
ever
doesn't matter.
beat doing it with somebody you enjoy being.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how
100%.
comfortable you are. It won't be the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, no, for sure. Um, but I also tried doing something where I was gonna be doing something, if that makes sense, right? I was gonna be smoking, right? So I
You have
wasn't just
something to
sitting
do. Yeah,
there reading
yeah.
a book
Not like a bar,
or yeah, well, yeah, I guess not,
because you
right?
don't do anything. You
You
drink
just
and you
sit at
sit
a
there.
bar and you just
Yeah.
drink. But I feel like that would be more normal than going out to like a hookah bar because
Yes,
a lot of people go to the
and
bar
that's
by
why you go to the
themselves
bar. You
when
sit at
they're
the bar because
stressed or
you have
whatever.
nobody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would be more normal than go like the movie guy. That's probably the more you know comfortable with myself side. I don't know. But
He
then
was
again, could it be comfortable myself or just weird as fuck?
He's
You
so
know.
let me now that you mentioned that, let me talk about this guy a little bit. He was very um he had a know-it-all attitude. So
I
he was
know it
very
all. Okay.
no doubt he was like overconfident. Um it was that type of person. But also I think that's the reason why he was able to do that. Um, so he was the
Like
kind
he
of guy
was
that knew
very
everything. He was
yeah,
overconfident about everything. He was the best at everything. But also he was able to just go out by himself and do that, right?
yeah, yeah. Interesting.
So yeah, I don't know if again that personality, some of those traits uh, of I guess confidence, even if it's overconfidence,
Yeah.
that's where it's at.
Interesting, interesting.
But yeah, man, every day I think about all this kind of shit because I talk about it. I talk about time management and being organized and doing all these things, right? Um, and like doing, you know what pisses me off and gets on my nerves when I ask someone to do something and they don't take action right away.
But is
Wait. I
that
know.
your problem?
Yeah, that's not my problem. But let me
Okay.
tell you why. The kind of environment that we work in, very fast paced, right? So, hey, we need this done, and you just stand there and not do anything. I don't know if anybody else can relate. I don't know if it's like an old people thing. Like the older I get, the less patient I am. Um, but I just try to think how I would react, right? Like, hey, we need to work on this. Okay, boom, right now I'm gonna start working on it. Also, because what I said earlier, I'm not typically like that. So I'm pushing myself to do that.
Yeah.
But I have the expectation that maybe not exactly like that, but something. And I don't know if Alex is still on there, if he can relate. This was something that we talked about many years ago. Um, having how can I the urgency, having urgency and having that drive of doing something when you're given a task. I mean,
That's a toughie.
my job can be very task oriented, especially if you're somebody who's in charge of the shift or the floor, right?
Yeah.
Um, there's lots of things that are going on, lots of things you gotta keep tabs of, um, things that are time sensitive, So
Yeah.
again, I don't know if it's a me problem or it's normal, right? Because I've encountered both kinds of people. I've encountered the people that are like, okay, yes, sir, and we're gonna start working on that. And then the other kind is like, oh, I kind of chilling for another 30 minutes, and then maybe kind of start doing it, and it's like, oh, like hold yourself,
Yeah.
Like I don't know,
So
I don't know what's right. I don't know what's right.
I will say it definitely has to do with your work environment.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I learned very, I don't want to say quickly, but I learned overall that in at least my line of work, shit takes forever, bro. I mean, somebody says, let's color this blue, and people will chat for a little bit. We'll probably discuss what color blue.
Yeah.
We'll agree on the color blue. And then, well, not really anymore. And then, well, let's talk about this next week. And then,
But
blah,
would
blah,
you agree?
blah.
Would you agree that a lot of it is just wasting time and
A
not really
hundred
doing
percent.
anything?
Yeah. So there's a lot of
I
times
guess
where
what
I
you could.
feel
I guess
like,
what I'm saying is like either you're a go getter, like you have that attitude, right? Like you just do it, um,
mhm.
or you just more kind of relaxed.
Yeah. But it also, I mean,
But
look,
it depends on this. Like you said, it depends on the
it
situation.
it
Because
depends,
I
yeah,
take.
because for example, like let's say you say you right, you ask somebody to do something, right, and maybe they're not necessarily such a go-getter, but maybe they want to become something, right, so then they act like a go-getter so that they can become
Oh
something.
yeah, absolutely.
The problem, and this is kind of one of the things, is like, let's say you had a go-getter, you tell them to do things, whatever, they do them, you tell them to do something else, they do them, and then they just never see results from your end, right, like they never see nothing. That will definitely twist their mind to be more what you hate, which is like,
More
hey, so
relaxed.
and so, we need this done. All right, cool,
Yeah.
like now, yeah, I'll get to it. So it's really like, what I think what I'm trying to say is, you can, I don't know which one's right. Um
I think
but
it.
I
I think like no. I think what you said, right? It depends on the environment. It depends on. It depends on the task. It depends on what it's required from you.
It depends
Because
on what
I
required, and then I also think it depends also on the result, right?
so
Like, do you do it and it's part of your job and that's fine? Okay, cool. You accomplish your goal, great. But is this something that you're asking me to do that is maybe extra, or maybe you think that I can do it better, or maybe you want, but then there's really nothing to it? It's like here's the thing: if the let's call it employee, right? If the peon doesn't see
yeah,
a result, right, they're probably not going to be wanting to do it again as fast as they did it.
man.
Like, you'll
There's a
see
lot of
you'll
different.
see the you'll see the output. You'll see
But
the,
there's a lot
okay,
of
got done. We're going to be able to sell more, whatever. But
yeah,
he doesn't care about that. He doesn't care
exactly.
if we're going to sell
And
more.
that's what I was gonna say. There's a lot of different factors that play into what gets people engaged at work, right?
Yeah.
From each level, it's different. Because like you said, they really don't care if we do sell more or not, right? They just care
Mm-hmm.
about getting paid. They care about being as comfortable as possible, right? Having fun, maybe. It depends, right?
Yeah.
Some might be semi motivated if there's some opportunity for development.
Yeah.
um some are just there just for the money, right? So but in general they don't really care if the store is doing better, right? They don't care if they make
Yeah.
more profit or not. They don't really care if you waste less or more food. They just want to be as
Mm-hmm.
comfortable as possible, right? So
Yeah.
every task you have to approach it with a different understanding. And let me clarify something. Just because there's movement, it does not mean there's results, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said
Mm-hmm.
earlier today, maybe if you said, okay, go get it, okay, I'm gonna start kind of moving fast and acting like I'm doing something, doesn't really mean you're gonna really get anything done.
Yeah.
Um, but also that's what I'm saying, understanding different levels of responsibilities and tasks and is it a so let me give you a perfect example to what I'm talking about. My boss can come tell me and say, hey, you orders need to go out faster, right? Like you need to your average of 7 minutes now, you need to go down to 5 minutes. He's not gonna ask me tomorrow again for the same thing.
Yeah.
This is something that has so many different factors to get to that point that I'm not gonna just start reacting right now. Like I need to, we need to put up a plan. We need to assess the situation, see where the problems are, right? Kind of start addressing it accordingly and talk to the right
Yeah.
people and kind of finding out if the system is working.
Mm-hmm.
Then eventually, at some point, you might start seeing some results. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, there's tasks like, hey, it's dirty. We need to start cleaning. What else do you need to know about that? And those are some of the things that, like, okay, it's dirty. We need to clean. And I don't mean deep cleaning. I mean like the dirty. Like, say for example, like the lobby is dirty. Hey,
Yeah.
lobby is dirty. We need to clean it. Those are the tasks that, like, yes, sir, you go clean the lobby now. Like, that's are the kind of things where
So
I
check
don't
this
have
out.
another 30 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So check this out. I was discussing something similar like this with my therapist today about toddlers and children, and a lot of the times as adults we tell children because we're adults, right? That's the answer. Well, why can you do this? Well, because we're grown, because we're adults, whatever. So she went into explaining a little bit more about why that's not necessarily the best way to do it. That's the okay way to do it if you've explained it once or twice, right? You don't want to explain every time, but if a kid asks you like, you know, why do I need to clean, right? And you just say because I'm your boss or because I'm the
Oh
adult or
no, yeah,
because sure. What
that
I'm getting
not
at
not
is
not
is
definitely not the way to go.
correct, but what I'm getting at is a lot of the times I feel like people don't react as fast as maybe you want them to, I want them to, the world wants them to, because they don't know the why behind it. Like I get it, it's dirty, okay, sure, whatever, but what's the big deal? Now, if you were to say, "Hey, like, this is like not you, right?" But if the message was to the team at some point, some team meeting, some sort of something like, "Hey, cleanliness is a priority in our team and you make everybody buy into this," then whenever you say, "Hey, it's dirty, we need to clean," they've already bought into, "Oh shit, it needs to be cleaned, yes sir,"
You, you're s-
boom, they
you're
go do
singing
it.
my tune, sir. Like, this is the conversations that, again, yes, like this would be like me telling the manager, right? Um, because we have these conversations that people don't really
I'm
care.
sure y'all do, I'm sure y'all do,
Like,
yeah.
people quit, and we talk about people don't quit the job, right? They quit their bosses. They quit the people
Yes.
there, right? Um, and the conversation is sort of like this, what you're saying, right? Like, hey, take a different approach. I just had this conversation with half of the people there. Like, take a different approach, and um, I put one of my people aside and I say, hey, what do you think? Why do you think every now and then I'll just buy you a free meal, right? Even though it's supposed to be a 50% off, I just buy you a free meal. Or I'm the boss, right? But I'll run out there and bring you ketchup when if you're on say one of the employees goes on a break, right? And we bring out their order. Um, do you need anything else? Oh, don't worry about it. I got it, right? I'll run back there and I'll get the ketchup for them, right? And most of the time they'll be like, no, 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 don't worry, I'll get it, I get it. But I insist.
Yeah.
Um, or they're just sitting out there, they're about to clock in, and they go in early, right? They go have breakfast, and you go around and you refill their coffee. And I ask the question, I say, why do you think I do that? And it makes sense, right? Like, you're just trying to, but you're trying to set that relationship with that person,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, when you ask them to do something, do you feel like, and I told this to the manager, like, do you feel like if I ask the person later on today, hey, we gotta make sure, like you said, right? We gotta make sure the lobby stays clean because um, it's important to keep a presentable restaurant for the guest, and a clean restaurant, tastes the food, makes the food taste better. Whatever reason you want to give them, right?
Whatever it is, yeah.
They're already invested in you because they're doing it for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they don't care about whatever. They may not care about the other person, but if Caesar
Yeah.
told them to go do it and it needs to stay done and needs to stay clean, they're gonna do it, right?
Yeah. I had a
So
I had an
that's
old
that extra
boss.
step, man.
Yeah, I had an old boss when I was working at Academy. um Federico Arias, I think was his name. Man, this guy was nice as hell. He was cool as fuck too and everything. But um, he would do that, right? He would at the closing time, he would come around and help us, put the shoes away, and you know what I mean. He'd help apparel put clothes away. Like he would help, right? He wasn't just. There was another one, Noah. I can't remember his last name. Fucking little piece of shit. Who would just be like, "Hey guys, we need to hurry up so we can get out." And he's like, "Man, fuck you." You know what I mean? So whenever Federico would ask for shit, bro, it was so hard to be like, Nah, I
No.
can't,
Yeah.
whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
pulled so many doubles just because Federico asked.
Yes.
Like,
Even
and
when,
he'd be like,
even when I, yeah, even before when I was a manager, people would say, "Hey, call this person in because they'll come for you."
yeah,
But they don't see the reason why it happens. They don't
yeah,
see the extra work, the extra effort that it takes for you to get to that point.
yeah, yeah.
And they knew for sure, like if somebody else called them, they wouldn't, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Um,
yeah. If Noah ever had called me in, I wouldn't even, as soon as I heard his voice, I would
wouldn't
have
even
hung up.
consider it. Yeah,
No, bro. Even if
they
they
wouldn't even
told me
answer the
double
phone.
pay,
They wouldn't
like,
even
even if
answer the
they
phone.
told me double pay, triple pay, I would have been like, nah, fuck you, bro. I don't. But if Federico called me and said half pay, I might have done it. But
But
yeah,
again, it
I
goes
mean,
back to it's the people, right? That's what,
mhm. Yeah, you got to get the people to
like,
buy in,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And
You have
back to
to.
your point, if they're bought in, then they're gonna do the stuff, right? Long
Hmm.
term. Yeah,
Hmm.
you can tell them, hey, I need you to go clean now, right? Because I'm your boss. They might do it that one time, but
Yeah,
it's not gonna stay like that. Um,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah. No,
it's an
it's
extra
crazy
work,
that
it's an extra effort
it's the same everywhere, right? I mean,
everywhere,
even if it's different jobs, because you
no
can even
matter
do
what.
this at home too, right?
Oh yeah.
Like I see it with my cousins all the time. My uncle knows exactly who to ask for what because he knows which one. They're all gonna do it if he asks them to,
Yeah, yeah.
right? If he tells them
But
to,
some might be
but
more
he
invested
knows
in
which one's
something else.
gonna. Yeah, he knows which one's gonna just do it without even saying anything, or yeah, sure, no big deal. Like he knows, like, he knows
Yeah,
which of the three are doing. So
yeah. No,
it's
no.
funny that
You gotta know your people. Yeah, for
this
sure.
concept just works at home, at work. I
Because
mean, everywhere.
it works everywhere because it's about people, right? And no matter what business you go into, no matter what you're doing, it's about understanding how people work and how people feel, and
That's
no
crazy.
matter what feels, sir.
I feel like some people are oblivious to that too, though.
Oh yeah, I would say most people are oblivious to that.
So let's talk a little bit about that too. Just not even being oblivious to that, but just being oblivious. I got a real
So
question
much,
here.
so much.
Is being oblivious a blessing or a curse?
So yeah, you're saying ignorant, right? Like if you're ignorant, is that a blessing because
I
you don't have to think about it?
I mean, ignorant. I'm thinking more like there's a
Oblivious means
fucking
you just have no idea. Like
yeah.
it's never
So
crossed
I'll
your
give you
mind.
a
You
great
don't understand
example.
it at all.
Okay, so I'll give you a great example. Um, was it this morning or yesterday? I can't remember. But me and my coworker, we went to get coffee. I put my coffee in there first because my cup was already clean. Um, Coffee machine's running. Whatever. Boom, boom, boom. My coworkers like 3 feet behind me, maybe five, just at the counter waiting. I get my coffee, take it out. There's a fucking guy, and he just walks in front, puts his coffee, and it's just puts his coffee to go, and it's just waiting like nothing.
Somebody that you guys don't know.
I mean,
See him around.
they sit like we don't know them.
You don't
Like we
talk to
don't
them.
interact with them like that. Yeah, completely oblivious, bro. Completely oblivious. Me and my coworker look at each other. We start laughing. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay,
So
a
you can see there
second
was no
person.
malice in his look. Like he didn't do
No,
it.
yeah, there was no malice. Like he didn't look at her and fuck you, or he
It
saw the room. He saw me take my coffee away. Turn around. And he just assumed I'm next. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Whatever.
yeah. No,
Even though there was
I know
somebody
exactly
there.
what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
Time out. A second person comes.
No.
This guy gets his coffee out and he just puts his coffee in. He doesn't even like he saw the room. He saw there was three of us in there already. Just puts his and the coffee keeps going. And I couldn't hold my tongue, bro. And I tell my coworker, I'm like, man,
Uh,
I wish I could be that oblivious. I
yeah,
wish. I say it out loud, you know,
yeah.
and no thought, no nothing. The coffee finishes filling, and then one of them was like, "Oh, were you next?" And then the first guy that cut her off was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Okay, like what the fuck, bro? How can you be so oblivious? It's not a fucking mansion. This area is I mean, it's a
Oh
smallish
man,
area, you know."
that's tough because I don't know. I mean, do you hold somebody accountable for that? Or
I
can you
mean,
just?
you
I
kind of
mean,
have to,
is there
bro.
anything that you can even? I mean, somebody who's like that is probably like that at different aspects in life.
And you it's crazy because one of the ones that was completely oblivious about it, he deals with like contracts and shit. You know, actually they both do, you
But in my
know.
mind, I was like, sometimes you think, how does people even like survive in life? You know what I mean?
How, but I'm just like in that moment I was like, dude, is that a blessing or is that a curse, right? Because I'm hyper aware, like I'm so
Yeah.
aware. I mean, I
No, I,
get it, it's my trauma of how I grew up, right? Like you're in the hood, you gotta be watching out.
yeah, yeah.
But like, I mean, you gotta at least read the room, right? Like you, I
But
mean,
they just don't have it. They don't have it.
it's gotta
And
be
this is,
some sort of blessing,
but you know
because
what?
that
It's
means there's no concern.
what, but there, yeah, right. So like you're living like a simpler life. Like you're not stressed. You're not thinking about a lot of things. You're not overthinking anything. You're just like kind of doing your thing in your own little world. Yeah,
Dude, yeah. But that shit, man, me and my coworker were just balling, bro. And she's so nice. Cause I would have been like, hey, I'm next. You know, I would have said something. I
yeah.
would
I
have
think
said something like that. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I think I would have
Um,
probably mm, maybe the
she's
first
better than
one.
I am.
I think the first one I would have been like okay, but the second guy I would have been like no, that's it. Like I gotta jump in there.
Yeah, yeah. She's too nice. I'd have been like, yo, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, we're in a work environment, but oof. I was mad for her. You know what I mean? I was like, what the fuck? It's nuts. But so yeah, is it like I don't understand how people could be so oblivious
So how common do you think this is? What
after
percentage?
that
What
experience.
percentage of people there? Let's just let's just fantasize. So, what percentage of people you think have those similar traits?
So okay, so I've ran into people that are not oblivious; they're focused on something else. So I wouldn't count that as
Distracted,
oblivious.
distracted. That's something different. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, oof. I don't know. I don't think I've ever ran into this like extremely obvious, oblivious example, or it's never really been like in front of me. So I don't know. I mean, but I
So
feel like it's
would you consider this a social, uh, like lack of social awareness? And is it a meant like is it a problem? Like
I
people have
mean,
this problem?
I think it's definitely got to be a lack of social skills, right, or whatever. I'm trying to think of the people that did it. One of them I could probably say
But
it's cultural because he's definitely not from
but I mean,
around.
they're
Um,
they sound like functional people because they got jobs and they got you know what I mean. They're living their lives.
I will
But
say this
how?
though,
How?
there are many times that I ask myself, how in the hell are you doing better than I am?
Like how are you driving? You know what I mean?
Like, how are you getting paid more than I am? I ask myself that so many times at
That
work.
is yeah. No, I get it. That's sad.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's crazy. Um, it's got to be. I'm trying to. Like I said, I'm trying to think of the people that did it, and I think it's cultural. I think it's very cultural.
So was this like some foreign
Yeah, one of
like
them was foreign. The other one was a northerner.
northerner
Uh,
like United States
no,
or
further north.
like Canada type of thing?
Yeah,
I mean, culture is very similar, isn't it? Aren't they supposed to be like super
yeah. They're
nice?
supposed to be nicer. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. They're supposed to be nicer. I don't know, bro. But this, it was like, wow. And I'm thinking like, I'm thinking you two people are driving to work. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. No,
you're driving.
there's instances where people say something or do something and you kind of just know that that's not like how would they why would they say that or do that, right? And
Oh
this
yeah,
happens all the time.
yeah,
Like me and Erica or just me and whoever, like we would just look at each other and think, I think we're thinking the same thing, like how does this happen?
yeah,
I'm kind
yeah.
of this kind of thing all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
much
No,
so
I
that I
mean,
think it's like I would say normal, but like I just want to think I want to be
what could
positive
it
and
be,
say
bro?
like just people are different than me, right? So I not
I think, and maybe not. It's see that it's confusing to me because it can't be technology because these guys are on the
know.
older
Yeah,
spectrum.
yeah.
Because I'm thinking about driving, right? And so many people drive with like their headphones in and shit like that. But then I guess you could call that distracted. But even that to me is a little bit oblivious because you want to be aware
That's
while you're
dangerous. Like,
driving.
you don't want to do
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
that's stupid as fuck. But I don't know. I'm sure it happens all the time, but
too much, too much.
I just can't be oblivious.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is it a blessing or a curse? Because I would love to just not care, not give a fuck, not worry, not think. Like that would be so nice. Actually, no, I wouldn't want that. That'd be fucking catastrophic. That'd be
Also, sort
horrible.
of what you said a little bit. What kind of background these people have, right? Or
Yeah.
uh, what
These
kind of
people were probably
life?
pampered their
Yeah,
whole fucking life.
pampered, or just I guess you could say normal. I guess not even normal. Uh, Abnormally pampered. Not enough exposure to the world. Not enough. Nobody was there to kind of.
Like, I'll tell you
I
this
don't know.
much.
I don't know
If
what it
this
would take to get to that point.
if this happened at the fucking Chevron in Langwood, they would have got beat up.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I
guess
mean?
what? After you get beat up once, you learn, right? So maybe that's
Hopefully.
what I'm saying. That maybe you just never had the chance to kind of, there's some like unspoken rules that might be out
I
there.
this makes me think like I'm glad I grew up in the hood. It
Oh,
it
it gave you a completely different view on life,
it
for
it
sure.
definitely prepared me for the real life. Cause I'll tell you what,
Uh,
life is fucking hood as fuck, bro. Life is
yeah,
fucking hood. Life does not give a fuck.
yeah, I agree.
Life will bully
I think,
you
I mean,
for fun.
you can dress it up nicely, but it's still hood.
Yeah. 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 I mean, like think about this. You could be a fucking millionaire. You
Yeah.
still got to pay
Oh,
taxes.
you
You
still
still
gotta,
got
yeah,
somebody fucking bullying you for your money. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like that's life is hood as fuck. Um. So yeah, no, I'm glad I had that experience. It definitely helped me with at least things like this. I will say, growing up in the hood definitely helped me read the room,
Sure.
big time read the room. Um, it taught me well going back to read the room, right? Like what to say and when to say it,
Yeah.
when to keep your mouth shut.
Also,
You
it
know what I
probably
mean?
developed, and I can't stress this enough. And I talk to my daughters about this all the time. Just like environmental awareness, just kind of
Yes.
seeing what's going on. Like you should be able to know everything that's going on around you. Uh,
Yeah. When I was side story again, when I my mom put me in driving school, whatever the
yeah,
fuck.
driving. Yeah,
Um, to get my license and all that. She thought we needed it. I guess whatever. Long story short, she put me in driving school, and we would go out to take a test drive, the first test drive with the fucking teacher. And as soon as we get in there, fuck, I'm looking at my mirrors, fix my mirrors, and we take off. When we get to get off onto the street, you stop. I look at my mirrors. I keep going, look at my mirrors. Like I'm looking at my mirrors, bro, all the time. And he's like, normally I have to remind people to look at the mirrors because nobody ever looks at the mirrors.
yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you just, like I'm just used to being aware of my surroundings. I have to know what's going on.
It,
Um,
these might be more of a physical thing, but it's something that's lost, man. Because like I said, I'd have to, yeah, especially like I keep saying this, but like a younger generation kind of loses some of these things. Um, and I that's why I'm talking about my daughter, because I remind her all the time, like, hey, you should be able to see these. Like, I don't know if it's just everyone should be able to see it,
yeah.
but because sometimes things happen around her, and she just again
Oblivious.
oblivious to the
That's what
situation,
I'm
right?
saying, bro. But is it a blessing because it didn't bother her?
I don't
You
know.
know what I mean?
No, but I wish she would notice more things. But she can be.
I'm on the same
I mean,
boat.
she can be really smart about other things, but when it comes to like just like I said, like your environment in general, like when things happen that you should notice, right?
Yeah.
Um, I just don't.
Man, that's crazy. That's kind of scary, right?
Yeah. So
Because you would think like the important things is
let
where
me
you.
add on to this, right? Every day when I go to work, I have to pull one of my managers aside and say, "Okay, what do you see? What do you see? What's wrong? Like what kind of things you should be looking for? You know?"
Yeah.
So I see at that point, I don't know if it's awareness. I don't know if it's just laziness. I don't know. I don't know, right? Um, but we should all be at some point be able to especially when something like this, like a professional setting where you keep remind like people keep reminding you about the same things. There are like actual written protocols that you need to follow that are there for you. um that awareness should be, I mean, I think, because that's something that we work on every day, right? It should be like very tuned in to like your business,
Yeah.
because I can be in the restaurant and somebody can say something in the restaurant and I hear it, you know what I mean? Like I know everything that's going on,
Yeah.
again, I don't know, because I've been doing this kind of work, right? And I'm trying to share some of these with everybody else, right? But yeah, a lot of the times it's like, oh yeah, I didn't notice that, I didn't see that, I didn't notice this, oh, I forgot about this. Like, how do you forget about this shit? You do it every day, you know you
Yeah.
can't forget, and then we don't get paid to forget,
Yeah.
some of those conversations sometimes have to come up. Like, find better ways, just write it down. You know how many times I say write it down at work? Too many.
All the time. Yeah.
Because write it fucking down so you can remember. You forget, okay, write it down.
Yeah.
Have a
Yeah.
way of like reminding yourself. And I tell them like, okay, I'm horrible, and actually I'm not that bad, right? But I'll just say, yeah, I'm really horrible at remembering things. So I'll make a note on my phone and set a reminder, right? I know I have my phone all the time. When it goes off, it tells me exactly what I need to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's not rocket science. But just people just not do it. And if any of my managers are watching this, I'm sorry. But we just need to get better at things.
Yeah. And I think it's probably like
I mean, we could all use
more.
that skill, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But I think in like in a work environment, more so if I forgot, it should be I just didn't care, but I
Yes,
forgot is what we say.
yes, that's exactly right. Yeah,
Because there's teams there where I forget, and I do forget because I didn't ingrain them in there, but it's because I don't give a fuck.
you don't care enough. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Or like, well, yeah,
I
no, it's
I
just
agree
what it is.
100%.
Yeah,
And I mean, I try to be honest um, with the people that I work
yeah.
with the team, right?
I think that's the best thing you can do, bro.
Yeah, because when it gets to that point that something else might happen, right? Like, you're gonna get promoted to a guest, like, exactly what happened. Like, there
Hmm.
should be no question about it. But yeah, I try to be honest, and I share that sentiment, right? Like that, like you said, that I don't care or that I forgot. It really just means we're not putting enough effort to remember,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You don't care. You don't care enough.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Yeah,
so I let somebody go recently. It was one of the managers, and it was for that reason. Because I can't teach somebody to care. You know,
yeah,
either you
yeah,
care about the job or you don't, right? And
yeah. Or like you care about my idea or you don't,
if you care
right? Because
about
the idea is that you want to unify the team. Let's call
yeah,
it.
so if you care enough about the team, and it's not just about you, right? It is about also but it's when you work in that kind of environment, it's the team, right?
Yeah.
Um, and when I feel like I did my part, communicating and setting the expectations and reminding and communicating and being patient and training and showing, right? It gets to a point where, like, okay, if you just don't care, there's nothing I can do about that.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and I mean, I think as far as when you terminate someone, it went as smooth as you would hope. There was no resentment. There was none that was visual, right? I'm sure
Yeah.
you probably thought, "Fuck this guy"
Fuck
at
this
some point.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but but not enough to make a scene or anything like that, right? Because you
Yeah.
know exactly what we did a good job kind of laying it out, uh, to where like people say people get themselves fired, and that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But it's rough, man. I don't know if you ever had to experience that kind of uncomfortable situation.
I
It
have
it,
not.
it
I mean,
doesn't get
I've been
it does not get
fired.
easier.
I've
Yeah.
been fired.
Okay.
And
Yeah. I've
mostly,
been fired. Yeah. Yeah.
and you know what? It's definitely when I did get fired, it was that I didn't care enough about the team. I didn't care enough about the job. I didn't care enough about the leader. I didn't care about. I really
Yeah.
didn't care.
You weren't
Um,
happy at that job. You didn't.
well,
Yeah.
I
You
really
didn't care.
yeah.
So yeah, I went through
So
the
I
same thing.
didn't
Like
yeah
I was let go, and I was like, all right, like that just pushes me to
yeah
like move on. Do something else. Um,
yeah.
Even though I didn't agree with everything, but that was fine.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah,
I mean, it still sucked. I was like, man, fuck
just
you.
a side
Like,
note. It is an uncomfortable situation for sure.
I bet. I bet. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know that somebody's about to be unhappy because
Yeah,
nobody is ever like you're
and
fired.
somebody
Okay, great. You know,
and you're potentially messing with this person's life.
you
Like
are. You're not
you're
potentially
you're
like
when
you
you
are.
are like say you're the main income of somebody's household, and you're no longer working, it affects you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure. Um, but but no, I guess getting fired is different. So never mind. I was gonna say because in your scenario it definitely wasn't the manager, right? But sometimes
Yeah, it's way different
sometimes
getting fired than firing someone.
yeah, yeah. Because I feel like sometimes the manager doesn't put in work, expects the employee to put in work. Obviously there's it doesn't
all,
happen, and so then
all
the
the time.
manager's like, oh, you're not doing your part,
Yeah,
bye.
yeah,
And it's like, well, shit, you weren't either, so
yeah, yeah.
should we both leave?
It happens all the time.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude. I think about it all the time, like going back to how do some of these people, how are you there in that position or whatever? And I think about it all the time, like how is this company still up, right? With some of like I don't want to say the leadership because I think the leadership has knowledge on what they're doing, but God, dog, there's some things that are
Oh,
done that I'm
don't.
just like,
I don't think. I don't think in general people are good at leadership. Like when we say, you know, quote unquote leadership skills.
yeah. So
Really, what it
at
is is,
work,
is like people skills, right?
yeah, at work we have a lot of authority figures.
Yeah,
Definitely a lot of authority figures. Um, maybe not as much leaders.
yeah. That's what it is. Like if you think of someone who at work who it's somebody who you report to and you respect, right? That might be somebody who's showing some leadership skills. But if somebody who's just they're just your boss because that's their title, and you feel I've had bosses that I really don't care for, right?
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't say they're great leaders. They didn't get me to be on their side, right? It's a lot of that out there for sure.
That just makes me think though, like I can do it. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
it definitely sparks a little fire in me
So
sometimes where I'm like, man, if this is what you're doing, like I can do what you're doing
you know what's the other side of the coin
times
of
20
of,
times
of
better.
being oblivious is common sense, lack
Yes.
of common
Lack
sense.
of common sense,
Bro,
bro.
so I mean, it's
It's a
worldwide.
fucking epidemic.
Yes, yes. So can you imagine being oblivious and on top of that, you're lack common sense?
Are you walking dead? I
And
mean, are you a fucking zombie?
there's people like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If you're out there like that, I'm sorry. Uh,
I
you're you're out there. Just know.
yeah. There was a kid in college that I can when I'm thinking oblivious and no common sense,
Damn. And in
he sparks
college,
into my head. Yeah, yeah. I mean, just because you're oblivious and don't have common sense doesn't mean you can't be studious. You know what I
Well,
mean?
you
But
could be. I mean, you could be a genius and just still not have common sense and be
yeah,
oblivious about things.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you could
But
be
I
a
mean,
genius
he
at
was,
something.
he was. It was funny to interact with him because of that, right? Like it was
You know.
just, it was bad. It was bad. But he's like first thought that came to my mind. Poor kid. Hopefully he's doing well out there. Hopefully he's doing well out there.
Also that makes you think, like you said earlier. There's people out there who are doing better than you, right? And you would, I think, rate them as oblivious or lack of common sense or just even intelligent, but they're doing great.
They're doing amazing, bro.
So, so what are
I'm the
we
fucking
missing right
idiot
here?
for
Yeah,
putting in
I'm
work.
the problem, right?
Like I've always said that though, or not always, but recently I've had these thoughts of like, am I the idiot for putting in the work, right? Like, am I just have to, like, I just can't not do my
So
job and
do you
do it
think
better, you
do you
know?
think that some of these people, it's got to be right? So a lot of these people got there because the situation, like it was situational, like it was
I
just the right,
I I
right time,
have
right place.
heard I have heard of many occasions where this position needs to be filled.
Yeah.
Fuck it, you know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes. 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 Yes.
I have also heard where it's like, oh no, I don't want to do it. I'm actually leaving. Oh fuck, you were the best one. Okay, we need this position filled. You know what I mean? And so I've heard of that, and I'm just like, fuck, why wasn't I there
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
when this happened?
Right.
Because here's the thing, like, I want to be there. I've actually put it out there that I want to be there,
Yeah. Yeah.
and there's
So
just no movement. There's just none of it. You know?
this happens everywhere. That's how we end up with. So on I guess for my situation, for my scenario, on my setting, this happens all the time. Some of these guys that get promoted is just you filling up a a hole that you're missing, right? So like the
Yeah,
company would say, you need to have these many managers and these many team leaders and these many whatever, right?
yeah.
So you don't have a choice. You have to either fulfill the requirement and just pick whoever, not necessarily because they're the good choice, right, or the right choice, just
God
to
damn.
fill in that hole. That's how we end up with a lot of these man. So
How does a company survive and then thrive like that? This makes no sense to me.
I think it happens everywhere, sir. I don't think it's
I,
just
I oh I agree. I'm just that's what I'm saying because I'm thinking about where I work and you're telling
Wall
me
Street.
about where you work
Yeah,
and I'm thinking of my past experiences and I'm just thinking like, how in the fuck do companies thrive like this?
yeah. And also on top of that, there is no, because I tell this to everyone that wants to get promoted. A good worker doesn't make a good manager, right? Um, and a lot of the times that's what happens. Are you the best at making burgers? So boom, you're a team leader or a manager now,
Yeah,
and you have no people skills, no leadership skills, and on top of that, the company does not provide any type of training for you to get better at that,
yeah.
or very little, right? Or if they do, it's not enough, right?
It's a fucking video.
It might be a video, it might be a like a one-time
One time
training,
workshop.
one-time
Yeah,
workshop. Yeah, yeah, and it's definitely not enough, right? It takes years for people to get to a certain point, and so definitely that's not enough.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but I think it. I don't know. I think maybe
Blows my mind.
most recently there might be some effort into correcting some of that in my company, um, or at least like kind of area that I've been in now recently. You, I kind of see they're going in the right direction, right?
Yeah.
Also, a lot of people have gotten fired recently, so for that same reason, because they probably shouldn't have been there to begin with.
So would you then say that the company failed them in a way?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think you can give somebody enough time and be patient enough.
Yeah.
But just some people that just won't make it. But yeah, technically, yeah, you could say they failed them because they were never trained, they were never developed right?
It's crazy.
Company
It's
wide.
crazy. Makes no sense to me. God damn it.
So we even in the area here where I'm at, um, when like they're building a new store, there wasn't nobody here in the area who was gonna get promoted to get that store. They had to go to another area to steal one of the managers there.
Yeah.
Um, so and I knew from the get go because I was told that developing was one of the big things that were kind of lacking in this area. Um, Same thing. Why I had to move.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Interesting.
is there a right way? Is there a right answer? Yeah, absolutely. But it's not coming. Not coming.
Yeah. So your only days off are Wednesday? No, you have the weekend. You have a week. You have a weekend day off too. No,
Yeah, sometimes I have like Wednesday, Sunday.
I made a brisket this weekend.
Ooh, how was it?
It's good. It's good. I
So we were
just
at since you mentioned that we were at Costco or Sam's. I don't remember one of those, and we bought some ribs.
mm,
Yeah, and so I kept them there in the fridge for a while, and I'm like, "Fuck, I gotta make it." Fuck, I knew it was gonna take a long time, right? So finally, I decided to make them.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, sure enough, I had to 3 hours, and then 2 hours, and then 3 hours. Anyways, it took me all night almost,
Oh shit! Really?
bro.
Ribs normally takes like
These
6 hours.
no, yeah, it was about 6 hours, but I started late, right?
Yeah.
So I did it throughout the night,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
It came out amazing. I
Yeah.
did this. I bought some Dr. Pepper because I've seen it everywhere, like Dr. Pepper flavor. So I bought this jug of Dr. Pepper, and
Really?
I made it into this like Dr. Pepper glaze. But bomb,
Yeah.
bomb. I don't
I
want to do
mean,
it
I
because
like
it's
Dr
night,
Pepper, but
dude. Dr. Pepper glaze on those ribs was amazing. Everything else.
I
Oh,
have to.
so I did get it was Rudy's condiment, or what is it called? The
Okay.
rub.
Yeah, the
Rudy's
barbecue.
rub,
Oh, the rub. Yeah.
the rub, and then Rudy's barbecue,
Okay.
which was already good. And then I added the Dr. Pepper flavoring on there. Um, it was really good.
Interesting.
Yeah, I want to try
Nope.
root beer.
I'm basic.
Basic,
Salt,
yeah.
salt and pepper, baby. Salt and
No,
pepper.
I see when you do your ribs, you do like you wrap them, right? You
Oh, when I do my ribs, yeah. When I do my
honey and
ribs,
then
it's
brown
just
sugar.
I do the rub that I get. It's I can't remember, but it's a sugar free rub. It doesn't have sugar.
Oh, okay.
So we like that. It doesn't have any
But you
sugars. It doesn't
then
have
you
like
put brown
sulf.
sugar, don't you?
Yeah, that's after. So I put the
Afterwards, when you
rub. I
wrap
put the rib. Yeah, when I go to wrap them, I'll put um fuck. I put
it, butter,
butter, brown sugar, and
honey.
honey because honey is for the money.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
fucking wrap them up, put them fucking side down, meat side down, put it on low there, let it go for another 2 to 3 hours,
Yeah.
then take them out, let them sit for an hour in that. Boy,
So you're done. Really? So you
done.
don't unwrap them and then put them in there again?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, well, because normally my shit is very like, it's that glaze, whatever. It's still there, so that's why I let them sit out for an hour so it can
Oh,
absorb it
okay.
again, so it gets in the meat.
Interesting.
Uh,
So I took a different approach. I took them out, then unwrapped them, and then kind of let them in there for another hour or so.
so they
Um,
can like dry up again on the outside.
yeah, so they can dry up again. But then I took that honey and brown sugar butter thing with the Dr. Pepper and made that glaze. And so when
Yeah.
they were out, I put the glaze on them and then let them sit out, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah.
So I kind of do something like that, but I don't put them back in. So I guess I do all that, but just not putting them back
We
in.
just let it, yeah, you just
Yeah,
finish
because
it off.
sometimes I still have some of that glaze left over, so I'll chop them
Yeah.
right? I'll cut them up. I'll put them in the metal container, whatever the fuck those are called. I can't think of them right now. And then if I have glaze, I'll just glaze it over,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and let it sit in there. But no, but this time I did a brisket, and normally my brisket is Texas style brisket, just salt and
Salt and
pepper.
pepper.
That's
Yeah.
it. You know, thick grain of salt and pepper, thick
Yeah. I
salt,
want to make
thick
a brisket.
pepper,
Where did you get it?
and at Walmart.
Kroger's. Oh, okay.
No, it was. I think it's on special now at Kroger, but I looked it up. Right, where's the prices? There was really no specials going on, but I got it at Walmart. I think it was like $3 a pound, so it wasn't too bad. I got
Not
a
too bad. Don't we find them sometimes at like $1 a pound,
that hasn't been for
or
like
like 130 or something, 129?
no, that hasn't been for like
It's been a while.
the
Huh?
cheapest. Yeah, the last cheapest brisket I ever got was like I think 189, and that was like 2 years ago,
Ooh,
2 or 3
damn.
years ago. It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. Time is flying, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a good little like I think it was a 17 pounder. So we have meat for days. Diana today was like, "What do we have at the house?" And I was like,
Nice.
"Brisket." So she ate some Chick-fil-A today, and I ate some brisket. I could eat
Oh,
brisket
I eat
all
brisket
fucking
every
day,
day.
bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Brisket. I love brisket.
yeah.
Brisket is definitely
It's
top
so
three
versatile.
for
You can
me.
do it like just
Oh yeah.
by itself.
We
You can
so
make a
today what I
sandwich. You
did
can make
was
whatever.
yeah, I made a sandwich. Today I made a
Burrito.
brisket sandwich with some barbecue, some
Yeah.
habanero barbecue that I make. Oof.
Oh, nice.
And then yesterday or today also for lunch, I think I had brisket with some fucking vegetables. Yesterday I had some brisket with some green beans. She had brisket with a hot potato, and
Hey,
yeah,
you
I
can eat
mean
brisket
brisket you
any
can
type of way.
fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I was thinking, man, I might even do it tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday? No, tomorrow's Thursday. Whatever. I might if we have left we still have some, but I'm thinking about some brisket nachos.
Yes,
Oh
that's what I was gonna say. Brisket nachos.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but
Yeah.
this one it was
Make me
really
want to
good. It
make
was
a
really good.
brisket.
Go for it. Go for it. Yeah, I love brisket. I think top three meats for me, it'd be a ribeye, it'd be
Yeah.
a brisket. What other cut of I'm fine with those two, bro. Like I don't need to go into a filet or a New York strip and all that shit. I just need a good marbled ribeye, 16 ounces,
Yeah.
and a good, nice little brisket. Like I'm fine with those two. Some people are like, "Oh, I need a New York strip, or I need a fillet, or I need wagyu." And I mean, shut the fuck up. You don't need all that
Oh, I
shit,
do
bro.
want to try the wagyu meat.
Get you a wagyu brisket.
Ooh, is there
Probably be
such a
like
thing?
infinity dollars.
For real?
I'm pretty sure there is. There's got to be. I mean, the wagyu
Yeah,
is
I guess,
just.
right? Yeah.
I'm
I'm
sure
just
it'll
saying, like,
be.
they wouldn't sell it like they'd sell the brisket. They might chop it up
You
into
probably got to
like
go to like a butcher.
thousand
I'm
dollar
sure they'll
cubes and
sell like
shit.
a brisket. $1,000 cubes. Yeah. I'm sure they'll sell a brisket. You just
I
probably
mean,
got
a
to go to the
steak is
right
like
butcher.
hundreds of dollars, right? Like
I don't
a plate.
know.
It can be.
Oh, Mr. E's in here.
Oh,
When we doing the
finally.
brisket challenge. I mean, whenever
Oh,
Cesar decides to come back to this side of town,
shit, we could do it anytime.
I mean, you tell
I mean,
me.
do we have to do it like at the same place or what?
I mean, are you gonna bring it from all the way over there?
Yeah, it's true.
It'll be like it
But
wouldn't be
it's either that or
fresh.
I gotta bring
Smoke.
my
You got a truck
smoker.
now.
Yeah, but still.
I know you're a smoker, bro. It's not heavy.
And then Mr. E's gotta bring his microwave all the way from his house.
I'm just thinking it's better to drive 45 minutes to his house than to drive 3 hours and a half, 4 hours with a brisket. Just well, I don't know how you make your brisket. Because when my brisket is done, I'll wrap it and then I'll put it in a cooler for another 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 hours,
That's
depends
what I'm
on
saying.
what
I
I'm
could
feeling.
easily make the brisket and then make the trip, and then we kind of all just kind of make the brisket at the same time. I mean, it all takes the same. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say it takes the same amount of time.
Yeah, because it depends what we
Our
want to
brisket,
do, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, other than Mr. E, it's gonna take similar amount of time.
Sure. Sure. Hijo de la chin. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm down. Whenever Cesar says let's do it, we'll do it.
Damn, why you leave it up to me?
Because you're the one that's way out of town. You left. You decided to leave. You abandoned us.
It takes will.
Yes, we do know, mystery. We do know. Unfortunately, I just don't even know if I want to try his though. We're doing three blind people. You're
Have
right, not
to. Yeah,
us.
we're doing so
Because that shit, man, that shit sounds like fucking death.
so are we doing so how are we gonna so let's talk about this real quick. Are we comparing like the same slice of because there's like the moist part of it,
Mm,
right? And then there's the dry part of it. Are
we'd
we
have
mixing it
to
up? Are we doing
do.
both?
I'm thinking
I think
we'd
we have to do
have
both, right?
to do both.
Yeah, like do the moist side and the dry into like one test subject and do the same
I don't
for.
know. Does Eric have any dryer? Like, is it all
Does he have
just
any
mushy?
moist?
Is it all just mushy?
It's all just one big rubber thing.
It's like I can imagine an eraser. Moist, shut up.
He claims he's even got a bark on there, so I don't know.
Oh, that's true. He said I got a smoke ring. That's from the fucking. Oh God. I mean, yeah, I don't know. We definitely have to talk logistics. But I'm down like Charlie
Oh, it's all
Brown.
about the flavor, I guess. Mister E said, "Forget the moist and the."
Yeah, I mean, bark. Shut the fuck. Is he barking
Texture.
or is he talking about the bark?
There's no fucking texture in that. You're
I mean,
crazy.
he's setting himself. He's setting himself up for failure.
Well, the other thing, it's not gonna be fair because you're gonna know that piece of rubber comes from the microwave. You know what I mean? And how you not gonna know? You know, two are gonna look similar, and then the other thing is gonna look like a fucking like a
That's
little
why it's a blind test.
razor.
They gotta just like we gotta
Oh
put
shit!
blindfolds
Okay.
on them. Oh, we need to find people that
No
are willing
micro,
and
no
able.
no sauce, just straight up meat.
Oh yeah, no sauce, no sauce. Because then you
Now
get the
we
flavor.
are we
I
allowed?
hate putting sauce on meat.
Yeah, because that completely changes the flavor. So
Yeah.
are we gonna use same condiments? Are we using different condiments? Whatever,
No, we'll make it how we want. We
however
make it
way.
right.
Okay,
However, yeah. So because I'm gonna do Texas style, I'm just gonna do salt and pepper. I mean, y'all, that's my secret. Period.
right.
Golly, bro. It's just I can't imagine a world where Mr. E's brisket
I
could potentially even come close to beating my brisket.
don't know if
You
you're
know what I'm saying?
oblivious to the world, you might like that. What
Ooh.
if you get the one person who's like, "Fuck, this is the best brisket I ever had. I'm gonna
Oh,
die.
I'm gonna
I will
punch
die."
them.
Yeah,
I would punch them just right here. That's crazy.
yeah. I don't see that happening, but there might be the idiot out there who you
You know?
never know.
Yeah.
No offense, mystery. I just don't think you can't compare the two. It's just no way. But I am curious. I want to know. You know what? I'm gonna taste it as well because I'm not gonna die without tasting that.
Yeah, I'll probably taste it too. Oh, that's
To be ready
disgusting.
to lose. So how many people do we blind? Are we blind tasting? Is it just three, four, five?
I mean, look, if we're gonna be part of it, fuck it. We can
Well, you will know which one you made.
yeah, you're right.
It has to be other people. Donkey punching.
So
Donkey
our
punching.
our
That's when you're trying to tenderize it. That's before.
so I think we have to get our spouses, right, to
Yeah.
be testers. And maybe we have Alex and Carla show up.
But
Um
even I think if it's like our own people, they're gonna know. right?
Okay, so yeah,
I
so
think
then
it would have to be like three not random people, but three people that are not directly linked to us, like friends or something like
like just fucking go to a Starbucks close to there and just be
that.
like,
Ooh,
"Hey, we need you to try this food."
and film
No,
it.
but if anybody came to me and said that, I'd be like, "Nah,
Yeah, I
I ain't
wouldn't.
doing it. What
Yeah,
the fuck? What's wrong
no,
with
no,
you?"
no,
I
just
don't know.
like three friends, right? Nobody who lives in a house because they'll know.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think who. So what if we did like we bring our tester?
Like we each bring our tester.
Yeah, because Mr. E said three, so you, me, and Mr. E would bring our tester.
Yeah, we could do that. You say what about
Can't
employees?
be our spouse.
I could, but then you guys would have to
Oh,
come to me.
I mean, I'm down for that too. Shit,
I miss you
I'll
in
even
that
take the smoker.
three subscribers. Ooh, but the problem is we don't even know. I mean,
We
yeah, I
don't
guess.
even know three of the subscribers. That would be great if we had some of them in here to even say that.
Yeah. Anybody out there willing to try some brisket? Let us know now.
You know,
I mean, I'll be down for some free brisket. No, you're not getting anything. There's no prize.
brisket's a prize.
Other than the brisket. And a once in a lifetime experience of trying Mr. E's brisket. That's the prize.
Oof, 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 oof.
Let me go shopping for a brisket and I'll give you guys a date.
All right,
Let me
I
find
like
that.
it.
Let me find the 150 a pound brisket.
It's gonna be the rotten brisket. I don't think they're that price anymore. Oh man.
All right, what else you got, sir?
Ain't got none right now.
You tired or what?
A little bit, a little bit.
Yeah.
Just trying to see. Yeah, I don't really got none right now. We can call it for the night. You playing with your cat?
No. Looking at
Oh.
my phone. So I guess I gotta do just a little side note. My boss called me talking about, oh yeah, I need you to go to a school and do a presentation for and like me and these other guys, this other manager, do a presentation for this award for this kid and those other bullshit and like all last minute. And I'm like, fuck.
When is that? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning,
Oh, you gotta go to sleep.
they gave me like a little script. Oh, this is what you gotta talk about.
That's gonna be fun.
I hope so. But I don't know anything about it. I don't know the details. I don't know what the price is. I don't know what I'm presenting. He just said, "Hey, there's this event. You and Jesse are going, um, and you got to talk about this. And I'm gonna send you like talking points, right?" Then he just sent us like a one sentence, like, "Hey, this is what I think would work the best. Good luck." I don't know where it is. I don't know. Well, I'm trying to figure it out, but I guess I gotta find out the time, the school. I don't even
Yeah,
know what it is that we're presenting. I have no idea.
that's gonna be
So yeah,
that's weird.
I don't know if it's gonna be like in a classroom. Is it gonna be
Yeah,
like a couple of people there? Is it gonna
the
be like
auditorium.
yeah? Is it gonna be like a pep rally and you're in front of like 1,000 high schoolers? I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, that'd be great.
Uh,
Then you gotta be all cheery.
excuse me. Yeah, no, I don't know. Like no
I'm sick.
yeah, like no content whatsoever. Like I don't know. But
That's
hopefully everything will
awesome.
be all right. And then I got to drive an hour and a half for a meeting, for an 8 hour meeting.
How? There's Waco isn't even that big.
I got to go to Temple.
Oh, okay, okay. I was
So
about
yeah,
to
I got to go
say.
like north of Waco and then I got to drive back down to Temple. I don't know. Horrible day.
I was about to say, bro. Waco is not even fucking 5 minutes from Waco.
It's not.
That's crazy. But alrighty, then I'll let you get that information, and then obviously get some sleep, get prepped for that.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
Uh,
TTYL. See you
later.
next time.